let's get started. Feet together. Right? All right, good. So let's just warm up. Fighting stance. Slide in. Yakuzuki back. Ready? Go. Hey. 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 All right, switch to the other side. Same again. Slide in punch. Ready? Hey. 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 All right, good. So although we have two more people, so that's Orion Ravi. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, good. Okay, so now back to fighting stance. Switch to left gear. Mike and Zuki. Slide in and back. Ready? Hey. 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 Good. Okay. So now we're going to do Mike and Yakuzuki. So 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, ready? And go. Hey. Good. Hey. 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 Okay, guys. So I want to make sure that we don't do this kind of a thing much. We don't want to go and then just kind of give up there, right? Make sure it's 1, 2. Check your position, because if you do this, that's what you're going to do when you fight, and that's when the guy's going to nail you. You're going to go like this, you're going to quit, and then bang, the guy's going to hit you, all right? So make sure 1, 2, and just freeze there for like a second and feel the technique, all right? Ready? Hey, Dominic. How's it going? All right, so ready? Mike and Yakuzuki. Go. Hey, 1, 2, and hold. Good. Back again. Hey. 1, 2. Good. And again, ready? Hey. 1, 2. Good. Back again. And go. Hey. 2. Good. And back. One more time. Hey. 2. And back again. Good. Okay, hold it for a second. Okay. So let's just work on the first part. So just get left gear. So get the hand back this way so we can feel the gear working, right? And then just step in 1, 2, and hold the finishing position, right? There you go. Hey, 1, 2. Good. Back. Who we have there? This is me. Hey, how's it going? Good, nice to see you. All right, good. So just hold the finishing position right here, right? 1, 2. Good, back again. So what I want you to think of, just while we're warming up, this part of my back is going to get a good stretch, okay? In order for that to happen, this side's going to come forward, okay? So at the end of my mic in, I'm primed, ready for the punch on this side, okay? So get into position and just hold it for like a second. Feel the stretch on the back. Okay, ready? And go. Hey, hold it there. Feel that stretch. And back again. Good. Ready? Hey, hold it there. Good. And back again. Ready? Hey, hold it. Hold it. Now you're going to move in for the Gyakuzuki. From here, so the opposite side now is working against that left shoulder and punch. Right? Good. Back again. So the body is working in opposites here. This way, ready for the punch, right? Try it again. Ready? Go. Hey, hold it, get the stretch, and right, punch. Good. Let's look at that again. Ready? And go. Hey, 1, and 2, and go. So do a couple by yourself. I'm just going to watch. Good. All right, good. So just watch this for a second. Can I get you? So what I want you to try, I'm focusing a lot on this side right now because we tend to forget. We come in for the mic end, and we tend to overreach. So now this side has lost a lot of that lock. In order to lock, I have to push back. So if you can put your hand here. So if you watch what happens, if I'm like this and she pushes me, I got no resistance. See? Push again. So what I'm going to try to do, the pressure, I'm going to, okay. Put your hand back there again. Hold it. Now, just give me a little pressure. Now I'm going to push her back. So I'm actually thinking about pushing backwards. That brings my right side forward. Okay. So try it again from this side so we can see. So if I'm a little bit sideways here, yeah, push that, push me. See how she can push me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resist with this side. Okay, so I'm going to push back against her by pushing this side forward and stretching my arm. That is my lock at the end. Now you can see how this side is primed, ready for my gyakuzu. Right? Let's look at that. So use that. Use your imagination now. Each time you get to there, imagine pushing backwards, but your arm is still going forward at the same time, right? So try a couple more by yourself. Go ahead. Yeah. That's it. Just break it into two moves. You know, keep them separated. Right. Good. All right, cool. So now while you're doing that, I want you to add one more thing. So this is an exaggeration, but watch my opposite shoulder. Like I'm going to compress here. This feeling here. So while I'm stretching my back, I'm pulling down with my lats on this side. Okay? So if you look at any of the boxers, you know, the big heavy punches, they got huge, their lats and their deltoids, they're really, really big, right? Really strong. So they're using that. I mean, they can knock a guy out through a big glove, right? So they're going to have some power there. So what I'm thinking about is working my lats and tying it into my abs here, so the whole thing compresses. So if you watch, I put my hands like this. Watch how my hands come together. But I don't lose my hip as I do it. I don't want to lose that third leg. So I'm actually going this way. My hip is going this way, right? So at the end of my punch, I get that compression there. And eventually it becomes very subtle. It doesn't have to be so obvious, right? But I get that there. So still, I'm tightening this whole area here. All right, let's give it a try. Ready? From here. Just slide in and just hold that position. There you go. Hey, hold it. Now think of the stretch and compress on the side. Now that compression now is ready for the next punch going this way, right? So try a few. You can add the second punch after you get that compression. Good. That's nice. That's good. Keep going. That's better, Javier. So what happens is the opposite side is always working. So Sensei Kimura used to say, like a penguin. You know, you watch a penguin walk, they don't have any weight, so they walk kind of like this, right? Okay. So what you're doing is you're going 1, 2, 3. You're getting this movement. Eventually, you won't see the shoulders moving. What happens is it all happens down here. But to create that muscle memory, you're going to have to make it a little bit bigger so you can understand it, right? So this thing from here is 1. I'm compressing here, stretching to the side. And now from here, I'm going to pull this side down when I punch. Imagine you're ducking. Someone's punching, you're going to duck. That kind of a feeling. It'll help you use these muscles on the side, right? So let's try it. So let's do the first part, the mic-in part first. Ready? Go. Hey. Hold it there. Now exaggerate a little bit. Just kind of compress more. Now from here, you're going to use it like a pole vault. You're going to come over the other side. Come on, this way. Yeah, that's good. Try it again. You might find that you're a little tight and tense right now, but that's okay. You'll learn to relax into it. So make sure that your shoulder doesn't come up though. We don't want the shoulder up. It's actually just a tilt. I'm tilting, right? Good, okay, that's nice, that's it. I wish we could do some impact right now, it's kind of hard. Good, good, okay. So, let's pretend we've done the mic in, so watch. I move in from mic in, I'm here. So, what I want to think of is, imagine I'm lifting up something here and pushing down. So, at the end of my mic in, I'm thinking of pushing down and lifting up. But I'm not doing it with my arms, I'm doing it with my body, watch. This way. So I'm using this part to help me lift and help me push down. This feeling here. So that compression there, now everything is nice and taut here. One, then I'm ready to release it. One, I can release it, see? Lift. So at the end of your mic in, you come in, one, and then just convert it to this. Do you feel that? I don't know if you can see what's happening with my gi. See how my gi is nice and tight here? So at the end it goes, you can see the stretch marks on my gi showing the torsion, right? Everything opens up. Push down, lift up. Try that at the end of the mic in. That's it. Once you get to the punch, just feel more. Good. That's looking nice, yeah. Good. Yeah. That's just it, man. Looks good. All right. That's okay. Like good. Keep going. Take a little bit more compression at the end. Like if you had a balloon, right? The balloon's blown up and then you kind of squash the balloon. It creates more pressure inside that balloon as you push it down.
So does your back foot on your mic in raise as your hip comes up?
Before or after?
The mic in, as you squeeze, I find.
Yeah. Well, when you're doing the miking Yakuzuki combination, this movement, the feet are going to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Because now that move is ready for the second motion, right? I mean, generally, even a mic in, you would lift the heel a little bit. You should be able to do it flat. But what if it was in the kata? Kata has to be flat. So you should be able to do it flat. But you know, when you're fighting, you're gonna break the form. So that's kind of breaking the form, lifting the heel up. But you get more out of it. Now you're adding another group of muscles to the punch, which is your calf muscles, right? So you want to get as many muscles into that punch as you can. So what I do when I start, I actually start. I don't know if you can see my feet. My heel actually. I'm creating a spring here. See this spring? I'm creating a spring to move. Creating a spring to move in. So it's coming from the ground up, if you can, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd be amazed how much more impact you get out of getting this feeling at the end of your punch. The stretch here and this compression. It locks your body into one unit. So you're hitting with a whole body rather than a whole bag of bones. You don't lose bones. Everything gets one shot. Good. Try to hold it, yeah. Hold it there. So make sure that your butt is under you the whole time. You don't want to be like this. You got to make sure your tailbone is tucked under. This feeling here. Yeah. So if you break it down, watch the weight distribution too. So I see some people going a little too much on the front leg, right? Then you have to hop on the second one. It's kind of like I'm going 1, 2, 3. So as you move in, the weight is going to be front foot, back foot, front foot. All right? 1, 2. So I get a nice acceleration. So the second one, right? So it's a shifting in the weight. Don't get too much stuck in the front foot, because now you have nothing to get you into the next punch. So if you want to break it down, you can always get to here and feel the pressure. Again, that's that compression. I'm using my back leg like a spring. And as I do that, it makes me move to the next one, right? So try to get that feeling as you do the combination. Good. That's it. Lucy, your first one looks good. The second one, you look like you're losing your balance a little bit on it, right? So try to check your form on the second punch. That's it, McKenna. Good, looking good. All right. That's it, Rory. Yep. Check it. Check yourself at the end. Good. Also, later on, once you get the feeling, you can do however you want. You can always modify things, do whatever you want. But when you do the punches for now, think of punching slightly down, slightly below your shoulder. If you punch up, I've seen a few people punch up. What it tends to do, if you don't have that experience, it tends to make you open up here too much. So watch what happens when I punch down. I think, right, this works. So I get that compression again, right? This is kind of lifting me up, uprooting me. If you push me here, I'm very weak. But here now I'm going to have much more resistance, right? So don't think of punching high. Like I said, later on, once you learn this, you can punch wherever you want. It doesn't matter. The technique is yours at that point, right? So keep thinking of, I always think of this way, like hitting down, down, down. Kind of like a swimming motion when you punch, right? Yeah. Like a bicycle pedal. Your hands are moving this way. So then I can block and punch, right? Block and punch. It's kind of a circular motion happening. The body wants to do that motion. Sensei Kimura used to say, everything is like disco. The whole technique, right? We didn't know what he meant back then. Let's punch a little lower if you can, Dominic. Keep the punch down, that's it. That's it, Jake, that looked good. Yep. Cool, all right, good. So that's just something, put that on the back burner for a while. It's just some information you can play with. So the mic in now, it's the same kind of move as Gyakuzuki really, but what I want you to do, I want to just practice some hip motion. So if you think about it just naturally when you walk, you tend to shift your weight in order to step. If I lift my leg, I'm just going to fall, right? So what do I do? To keep my balance, I have to push my weight up to this leg. Now I have balance. That would be what we call the third leg kind of feeling, right? So if I'm walking, I tend to do it, even if it's very subtly, you tend to shift your weight every time you step. It gives you a little bit of a sway, right? And if you look at like Sanshin, there's a circular motion in the step each time you step, right? You're shifting the weight. And it's that shift of the weight that brings the feet in. That's how you get that curved step. And a lot of styles, you'll see they exaggerate that, like some styles will do it always, and they'll go. Okay, Okay, it's an exaggeration of that motion. It's the shifting of the weight. They may not even know why they're doing it. Some guy 100 years ago taught them how to do it, and it kind of stayed that way. But what happens as we step, we shift. Now, I also want to go forward. So what happens, I shift to the side, and I also have to push forward. So when I'm going forward, my hip does this motion. So it does a little bit of this motion. Or I step, right? We do it naturally. We don't even realize we're doing it. So I want to do a mic in. If I have 50-50 weight, I can't just step, because what happens as soon as I lift this foot, I fall. See, from here, if I lift my foot, that's why some people tend to get wide. They'll go like this, right? Because they're not shifting the weight. So what happens, you need to shift the weight here. So see the motion I'm getting? It's an exaggeration, but I'm getting a little curve here. 1, 2. So it's kind of like a J shape. If you look at it from the top, my hip goes, maybe an L, goes out and forward, out and forward. So just work on that part. Forget about the hands for now if you want. Just think sideways and then lift. Lift your hips. Boom. Yeah. So now you're relying on your back leg to lift you and push you forward. That's the only leg that can move you forward. This one can't move you forward yet. You're behind it. So this one has to do all the work. So shift onto it and then lift forward. Just practice that a few times. 1, 2, yeah. If you exaggerate it, it would be like this. This one would want to go backwards. All right, and let that happen for now. That's okay. Just if that happens, just let it happen. Just to get that feeling. So Dominic, you're kind of going this way. Try to go this way. Like rotate into it. Rotate. So I'm going to rotate forward. But I'm swinging it out in a wide arc. This way. That's it, Esme. Yeah, good. Oh, nice. Good. Now, it's a big motion, and obviously you can't do this when you fight. But it'll teach those muscles how to work, and it'll eventually become much smaller and more compact. And, you know, it'll be part of your motion. You won't even know you're doing it. Right? So now, this it's amazing how much more impact you'll get when you hit the pad with this. So if you think of it like this, if I wanted to hit hard, the tendency is to pull the shoulder back. All right? I want to go 1, 2. Okay. So I'm doing a negative. I'm going backwards. Then I have to go forwards. So it doesn't work when you're fighting somebody. I go like this. The guy hits me before I can even get it out, right? Or he sees it coming. So what if I can do the same thing without going backwards? That's what I'm doing here. Instead of this going backwards, I keep this where it is. This goes forwards. All right? So it's a way of generating more power when you move. So we tend to want to do this. So the way I think of it, if this moves forward by like 6 inches, let's say, I have to convert for you guys. That's 6 inches. That's about 15 centimeters. All right. If this moves forward that much, my shoulder goes back the same amount. So instead of moving one forward, one back, keep the shoulder where it is. Move the hip twice as far forward. I'm building torque in the body, right? So instead of going back, instead of this going back, this goes twice as much forward. See that motion? So I get this. 1, 2. So I'm getting a motion into the punch here. So I'm using more body mechanics. See? 1, 2. So the way you can get it is by raising your heel. Like Dominic, we were talking about that, right? So my heel comes up, and my glute tightens up, my abs tighten up, and I get that feeling. That. Which, again, is getting back to this feeling here. All right? So everything is the same as everything. There's no difference. You want to do a Maiken, you want to do Gyakuzuki, the motion is the same. All right? So I'm here, lifting. Now from here, I can keep this pressure, and I can let this side take over. Punch. Yeah. Push. That's it. That's nice. Yeah, that was it. It's going to feel weird and uncomfortable, but once you get the hang of it, it's amazing the impact you'll get. push, that's it. So it's like this hip is going, but it has to go out. It can't take a shortcut. It has to go out, like it swings a wide arc. 1, 2, yeah. That's it, yeah, nice. Let's see, Ori, let me see this up. Okay, so Ori, that was good, except your shoulder went back, right? Don't let the shoulder go back. Try to keep the shoulder where it is and let this hip go forward. Put on a rubber band. All right. All right, so watch, guys. I'm gonna try to, I don't know if you can see this, but I have a rubber band in my hand. You probably can't even see it. But imagine I want to hit somebody, I want to flick somebody with a rubber band. So I pull backwards, see? That's generally how you do it. Same with the bow and arrow. You draw the bow back, okay? But that is an extra motion. You can only do that if the guy is 100 yards away and I want to shoot him. It doesn't matter about any telegraph motion, right? But again, that's the negative to go forward again. We don't want that negative. So instead of going this way, I can go this way. I don't know if you can see, instead of pulling backwards, I can push forwards. It does the same thing. The rubber band doesn't know the difference. The rubber band is just being stretched. So if I pull back, I have to go back, stop, and then go forward again. If I go forward, it's just forward and forward, right? 1, 2. So if I, Linda, can you hold this for me? I wish I had a bigger rubber band to show you guys. Just hold the book for me. So go on this side. So if I want to hit the rubber band, I want to hit the book with the rubber band, like that. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it. If I pull back, so I say, Linda, when I move, you move the book out the way. I can't get it, right? Every time I go, she moves it. But now, try now. She can't get out the way, right? Watch. She'll never get out the way. I was too far away on that one. Okay? She can't get out the way. But if I go back first, ready? I can't get her. Because it's a negative positive, right? We want positive, positive. So that's good. Nice. Yeah. So what I want to do here, I don't want to go negative, positive. I want to go positive, positive. Okay? So that's the feeling. So this one doesn't go back. What happens is I move from here. Okay? Now you don't see the motion anymore because I got used to it. And when I start, I already have some of it there, right? So I'm in position, I'm in left gear, but I have this lifting. So if I want to now, all I do is I just keep pushing with this one and then release this one when it's ready. Okay? And the impact will, once you get the feel for it, the impact is amazing. It's like I didn't even do anything, I got all that impact. Now, if I do, that's my miking, right? So I want to do miking. But watch Gyakuzuki is the same way. I just give a little bit more forward motion. And I'm ready for that one. Okay. So the motion, the principle is the same on both. So think of the rubber band, do I pull it back or do I push it forward? So I'm going to push forward and forward. 1, 2. You can break it down into 2 moves. 1, 2. So try it a few more times. Yeah? That's all right. Yeah. That's miking, right? Good. Think about the mic more than anything else right now. That's the weak one, right? We all have a good right punch, but the left one doesn't like it so much. Good. Oh, that looked good, okay? Yep. Okay, so now do a couple of oizukis. Just step in, just kind of loosen yourself up for an oizuki. Okay, so as you go, I'm talking about mostly my guys here. Don't let this arm die. Don't go like this. As you move in, push. Get more stretch here. So get more stretch. Right? Just exaggerate that from here, like 1, 2. And just stretch it out. Now, you might want to block with it or something. It could be anything like that. Stretch. That's it. Imagine the guy's too close. You want to push him away from you. That was a nice one, Dominic. That was good. That's it. You step over, Ori. Step over. That's it, yeah. Push that opposite hand. Lead with that opposite hand. Like I said, eventually you can do it however you want, but what that'll teach you, even if I don't straighten my arm, it teaches me to get that stretch on the back. Right? Even if my arm is bent. Yeah. Nice, nice. Stretch it out. Good, okay. So now, what is an oizuki? It's just a step over maiken, right? So, if I was to do a maiken on my right side, this is an oizuki. So oizuki is just a step over maiken. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm here. I have to push my weight onto the hip, otherwise I'm going to do this. I'm going to fall, right? So what do I have to do? I have to put the weight onto the hip. Now how do I go forward? This leg is stuck pushing. This leg has to push. So it's doing the same as the maiken, right? Maiken went sideways and then pushed forward. Well, I'm doing the same thing. I go sideways and I push forward. Okay? So that keeps this side nice and strong because we don't want this to happen this way. We don't want this hip to go back. This hip has to stay forward. So as I move in, I push from here now, forward. Okay, don't let the hip go back, right? Keep it in. So that's what I'm doing now. So that motion, the motion I did here, I'm doing it on the other side. All right, except that the leg's in front, so I have to shift onto it as I do it. So the principle is the same, 1 and 2, right? 1, 2. I keep this forward the whole time. 1, 2. All right, so try that now. As you do it, you can do it slowly. You see the motion is this way, right? 1, 2. Yeah, there you go. So you're stabilizing that left hip. Tighten the left glutes as much as you can as you go in. Good, nice. Make sure you keep that third leg here, right? That bow. You don't want the hip to go the wrong way. Nice, yeah, that was a good one. Good. Yep. So once the weight goes that way, try to keep it that way. See, don't go here and then here. See, I want to keep the weight going that way the whole time. It goes that way. Don't let the hip break, yeah. That was a nice one, Esme. That was good, yeah. Yeah, nice. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Cool. It's late for you guys, huh? What is it? It's going on 6 o'clock, huh? It's a long day. Morning classes and evening classes. Yeah. Good, that's nice. So eventually what will happen is your hand and foot will land together rather than a 1, 2. You know, that's like a basics move. We want to do a nice oizuki. The hand and foot need to move same time. Everything comes down. Let me see if I can get my foot there. Everything together, right? So I drop my body weight. Everything's solid at the end. Good. Keep going. And don't forget at the end, you're looking for a stretch on your right side now. At the end of it, right? Good. That was nice, Tom. Yeah. Ravi. I can only see your knees though. That's all right. Whatever you can manage is good. Nice one, Gavin. That's looking good. Yeah. Dominic's gonna put a hole in the wall over there. Watch out. Good. Good. Now something else to think about. This is like just another tool you can put. If you imagine like if I had a rope coming out of the wall over here, and I held the rope, and I pulled it this way. Because the rope can't move, what happens to my body? My body will do this, right? So if I'm standing like this and I pull on the rope, it makes my body do this, right? So the same thing can happen with my knee. If my knee is bent and somebody held my knee and I try to squeeze my knee in, what happens to this side? It brings this forward. So while you're doing all the other things, this could be too many things to think about, but imagine your pec muscles now are going to work. You're going to pull in this way. So I'm going to think my elbow and my hip want to come together. So I'm not just trying to get the hip there by itself. I'm using the other side of my body now to get that in. Right? So I'm going to squeeze my knees and squeeze my hands, but they can't move. The body has to move to them. So I'm here, I squeeze and touch. See? I get that squeezing touch. That might help give you some acceleration too. Cool. Yep, that was nice, yeah. Right. Good, yeah. And then you can pull the hand back, it doesn't have to stay out. I mean, obviously you can stay forward if you want. If you're doing cut, that would have to come back, whichever. That's nice. There's a nice punch there, too. That's good. If you could try to pull a little bit earlier on this one. Yeah, it's a little earlier. Just exaggerate it. You'll figure it out eventually. Pull. That's it. Yeah, there you go. See, the timing will come when you play with it. You figure it out yourself. Go ahead, Ken, let me see. Pull, think elbow. That was nice, yeah. Elbow, like my elbow wants to come across the body. Almost like I'm blocking. I need to block something as I'm moving in. Yeah. Just step over though, again, right? Oizuki. Cool. All right, so I just want to give you another picture of what I'm doing. That's good. So I'll hold my wrist. Okay, so don't let me pull you this way. So if I want to pull Linda that direction, watch what happens to me. I go that way, right? Okay. Opposite reaction. I push that way, my body wants to go the other way. All right. If she was in a weak position, I could pull her. But because she's too strong, when I do that, so what am I doing? I'm using these muscles here, neck muscles, my abs are engaged as well, and I'm pushing that way with my hand, so my body wants to go the other way. So if I think of an oizuki now, right? 1, 2. So it's getting this side of my body to move in faster. Okay? Now at the same time, if you can just kneel down, put your hand on my knee. Okay. So if she's in a weak position, I can pull her. Right? See, my knee goes this way. Right? This is just mostly for the lower belts, so you understand. But if she's really strong now, when I squeeze, it makes me want to do this. I'm squeezing my knees together. Okay? Squeeze. So if my hand and my leg are doing that at the same time, it's more muscles to turn me. So I'm getting my body to move in a little faster. So you think about these muscles in here and your pec muscles. So now you just added like 2 more large groups of muscles to your punch. Okay, the more muscles you can throw into that punch, the more power you're going to get out of it, right? So we're going to get this motion, and they're all big muscles too, right? So that's 1, 2. You can break it down. At the same time, I'm doing this, see? This is going sideways and forward. Squeeze, punch. Squeeze, punch. It moves in nice and fast. That's it. This is something you have to play with for a little while. It's not going to be something you can use until you get the feel for it. That was nice, Lucy. That was a good one. Good. So, McKenna, try to pull in a little more. Try to use this part of your body more. Good. Yep. Now imagine somebody's trying to counterpunch you. If you do this, you're going right into the counterpunch, right? This way, I have at least a little bit more protection. Right when I punch. So I'm covering myself a little bit better. May turn into a block or something. Squeeze, squeeze. Good. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah. Okay, good. So if you think back now, just take a little break. When you watch people do an oizuki, especially if you watch like beginners, lower belts, this is what I always remember seeing in my shoulders. You get this kind of a backward motion, see? Move in, backwards, and forward. The idea is this side has to move in. You don't have time to go back. If a guy counterpunches me here, there's no way I can get it. I might be able to block it if I'm lucky, but I can't beat him to the punch. If I'm here, I can do one-leg punch. Like that's how Sensei Kimura came up with a one-legged punch. He was doing an oizuki, and he was sparring, and the guy moved in, and so he just hit him. He didn't know, he just became instinctive. Because his body was in the right position, he just released the punch. If he'd been like this, we probably would never have discovered the one-legged punch. So that by turning the body in, it's ready to lead, to punch at any time. I can loose this arm anytime I want. I can punch here, I can punch here, I can punch there. Because the body is ready. Okay? But if I do this, and if you see a kata like that, it looks very choppy, right? Kata doesn't look good. People, 1, 2. It doesn't look good. If you can get like 1 and then they move in, 2. Everything is a little bit more sharp. So what we're trying to get rid of is this part. So I'm telling you to push this forward, but the tendency is to pull that back. But we don't want to do that. We want to keep the whole thing forward. Right? So I go 1, 2, 3. Right? And then if you look at the Sanchin Dachi, right? The way some people do Sanchin, they'll step and then they'll get this afterwards, which is good because you know they're getting that nice position. But again, it's a little too late. If you step, what if the guy's attacking me and I'm not ready? If I have this when I step, and I'm going to get this circular motion that I had before, this motion here is happening, see? I'm going in a circular motion to there. And then eventually you don't see it anymore, but I'm still doing that. That's my oizuki, right? So I'm getting that circle in the hip. So everything's tight, again, tight. He's tight. If you think of squeezing your butt as tight as you can and keeping the tilt, it's actually not that hard, right? As you do it, yeah. So all I'm doing now with the Sanchin Dachi is what I did with the oizuki. Right? I moved this way. That's my Sanchin Dachi. That's my oizuki. Just oizuki is a little longer stance, right? So this is some things for you to think about when you're working out, when you're playing around. See if you can play with it and incorporate it into what you're doing, right? So try an oizuki in Sanchin now. So you're here, you step in, and punch each time. Punch. Punch. Keep the glutes tight the whole time, don't relax them. See, that's what brings the foot in. See, I'm going this way. It makes my foot make a circle. Circle. Circle, yeah. That's it, Lucy. That was a good one. Yep. Good. Nice. That's nice. Good. And you see this, it's the same basically for Oizuki as it is for Gyakuzuki, right? It's just a different hand. Yeah. That's it, Ravi. Good one. Yep. So, Ori, you're doing it good. Just try to squeeze a little tighter with your butt. Imagine I'm going to come behind you and I'm going to kick you there. Make it tight, tight, tight. That's it. Good. Right, yeah. Good. So if you do Sanshin or Super Emperor or whatever, same thing, right? You step 1, 2, 1, 2 each time, right? Everything's solid. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, good. So let's do a few more mic-ins now. Let's go back to where we started. So now we've gone around the world. We've come back again. And let's see if we can throw some of those other things into the mic-in. So I'm here. Think about the circle goes this way now. So looking from the top, I'm going to make a counterclockwise circle. Anti-clockwise, right? This way. So I go this way with my head. 1, 2, right? 1, 2. Right now, just breaking it down, keeping it simple. Make it big and simple. That's it. Try to go a little bit bigger, Dominic, if you can. A bigger circle with your right hip. Okay, so watch. That's a little bit the left hip. Think right hip. This way. Like swing it out nice and wide. 1, 2. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Nice, nice. I know I bounced around a lot, but I'm trying to connect things together. We don't have much time on this, I need to see you guys twice a week, whatever. 3 times. Not like every day. Good. That was good, Ravi. So it's not like it wants to go forward in the beginning, it wants to go sideways in the beginning. It's already sideways, right? It's already sideways. So you just give it a little, because it's already sideways, I don't really have to go sideways anymore. When I'm fighting, hip is already going that way. That's my third leg, right? All I do now is I just lift. Bang, it goes. So it becomes more abbreviated as you get better at it. Good. And remember to drop the shoulder. It's okay to exaggerate it a little bit to get that muscle memory, That's it, Dominic. Pull down. Yeah, pull down. That's it, McKenna. Go ahead. Do that again. Yeah. Now, you know, a month from now, I'm going to tell you not to make it so big anymore, right? It's just to learn it. You know, make it big to learn it, and then we make it more compact. Because otherwise, you're going to go be doing your kata and it will kind of funny out there. And people are going to go, what the heck's this guy doing? It's not going to look good. But that happens internally. Eventually, what happens in the beginning, everything is big. Then eventually it becomes much more compact. It's all happening underneath the skin, kind of thing, you know? It's not so obvious anymore. But I've learned to use those muscles. Now I just make it more, instead of having this kind of thing happening, it's more of I have grip inside my body. It's like torsion, right? So it doesn't become such a big telegraph. It doesn't look so messy anymore. But when no one's around, make it messy, you know? You're not worried about what anybody thinks. Try to just learn the feeling of the technique. What else did I say? Yeah, it's just, you know, another way of thinking of the same thing that you're probably doing already, some of you. You know, when I say bring this hip in, well, I can also say connect my elbow to my hip. Then also think stretch the side. So it's all the same. So my Maiken actually is my Kamaite position for Gyakuzuki. Gyakuzuki is actually left here. Kamaite, right? So that one side, the end of one is the beginning of the next. All right, cool. So I'm going to end it right there. Nice to see everybody today. It's a holiday over here in the States, so I'm actually surprised we got this many people. And it's raining. Maybe that's why nobody wants to be outside. Good. All right, guys. So let's just finish up. We'll just bow. Right? Yes. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sensei Gavin. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Thanks.